Hey family, welcome to Family Meeple. I'm Raymond and this is Marvel United, the Ultimate Campaign, everything through Season 1. And today we are playing against Kang. Of course, was our primary villain very recently. It's very sad to have those affairs in the films. But anyway, moving swiftly on, we have Kang as our villain. And he has no special setup rules, but he does his own special rules. Let's have a look at those. So when a hero is KO'd, Kang doesn't activate his BAM. Instead, he plays another master plan card. That's his action. In the event of overflow, if you can't place a token to a location, a crisis token is added to that location. Location with a crisis token lose their end of turn effect. They lose that capability if that happens. And when he BAMs, if Kang is in a location, so if he's on the board, deal 2 damage to each hero in Kang's location and 1 damage to each hero in adjacent locations. If Kang is out of play, add a thug to every location and do not activate the normal adding of tokens on his card. It starts with 4 health, so it's our usual complete at least 2 missions in order to be able to make him vulnerable to damage. And that is it. So obviously if he goes through all of his master plan card deck, he wins the game. If we run out of cards, we win the game. Talking of us running out of cards, let's have a look who we're going to be playing against Kang. So we have a Rocket Groot. So he will be featuring off. So we have our double wild. So of course this is on standard play. Master Tinkerer, gain 1 wild token, or your action tokens can be used twice this turn. Wow. Okay. And he is joined by, of course, none other than Groot. Draw him up. So we are Groot. You and another hero draw 1 card. I am Groot. Move any other hero to a location adjacent to them. I am Groot. You and another hero deal damage in your respective locations and then attack. Okay, so they are the starting hands, and let's check out our location. So of course we're playing with the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. We are going to be playing with the Guardians of the Galaxy locations as well. So we have the Collector's Museum, and the end of turn may discard an action token to draw a card. We have Xandar, which we saw was proved very useful in that previous game. May draw cards up to 3 in your hand, so that's our healing location. We have Nowhere. At the end of your turn, you may discard an action token to get 2 action tokens of one of your choice. We have the Milano. At the end of your turn, you may move to any other location. We have the CMON. At the end of your turn, you may discard a card from your hand to the bottom of your deck in order to remove place a token onto a threat card. And then finally, Morag. At the end of the turn, you may gain a wild token. So they are the locations that we have around the board. So we know what he's doing. Let's have a look at his threats. So time hideout. Kang can't take any damage as long as he is in this or adjacent location. So that goes to location 1. Time army. As long as this threat is in play, heroes ending their turn in this location with a thug take 1 damage. Time army we just saw. Time hideout we've already seen. The 2 last ones are time paradox. As long as this threat is in play, whenever Kang enters play, he does so on full health. So those 2 are his healing. So they have been allocated out in that order 1 through 6. So we have our threats, locations are populated. Let us begin with, as always, putting Kang on the board. So he will be appearing in location 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's over at the kiln. That is where he will be starting. Will he remain on the board? Let's find out. So currently Kang is in play. And his first card is to move 2 and BAM. So he will move. Oh, in fact, because he is starting on the board, let us put ourselves on the board. So we'll be starting in Xandar. So he'll move 2 to the Collector's Museum. and then he will do his bam. So bam, to 2 damage to each hero in Kang's location, which is none. 1 damage to each hero in adjacent locations. So we are both adjacent to Kang, so we will both take 1 damage. Let's have a look at Rocket's card. So I'm going to get rid of our Master Tinkerer, and for Groot, okay, we don't really have a lot to attack at the moment. Movement and heroic feats are definitely on the cards. Haha. So let's leave those in play. So that's 1 damage for each of our heroes. And then he's going to add his peoples. So we've got 1 thug being added to his location and 2 thugs to each adjacent. So we have 2 thugs being added to Xandar and 2 thugs being added to Morag. It's down. Okay. So that is it for Kang. So he is done. We added to the storyline over here, and we are playing left to right. We'll start with Rocket. So we'll draw a card. Of course, we have our double wild out the bat, so I think that is always going to be what we will do, regardless of anything else in play. Okay, so now at the moment they are on a location that has got this time army. I really don't like the time army. As long as this thread is in play, heroes ending their turn in a location with a thug take 1 damage. Ouch. So now of course we have thugs everywhere. So if we end our turn here, we're going to take 1 damage. So with 2 wild tokens, I think we're going to get rid of these 2 thugs, so at least we can prevent that damage hitting us. Otherwise we're going to be feeling that very, very quickly. So we've added those to our defeated thugs list, and we are over to Groot. Now Groot will draw, we are Groot. You and another hero draw 1 card and a heroic feat. So I think that is what we're going to play. That gives us both the healing we currently need. So you and another hero draw a card, so we're both going to draw a card back up to full health. Nice, we get our double wild out for Groot the next turn. And then he now has 2 wilds and a heroic feat, which is what he needs to be able to clear the time army card, so we can get rid of that little dozy. But we do have the other time army elsewhere that we also need to attend to. But in the meantime, we'll add that to our cleared threats. And we are back to Rocket Raccoon, who will draw a card to 4. Okay, so he's got a heroic feat in situ. Oh, and certainly would have been able to draw back up to 3, but he's already got 3 now, so we've recovered anyway, so that's good. Okay, so we've got a heroic feat available. So we could do a move, an attack, and a heroic feat. The other time army location is just adjacent to where they currently are. As long as this thread is in play, heroes ending their turn in a location with us, he will take a damage at the end of his turn. Do I want that, I guess, is the question. Obviously not really. But what would the alternative be? And it would be anywhere on the board. This is the thing with that card. It is literally, as long as that thread is in play. Okay, so I mean, these are definitely the ones that we need to take care of more than anything else. I haven't got any more means to do an attack beyond that, so let's go with a move and attack from Rocket. It gives us a move and attack and a heroic feat, and we will go to here to do a move and an attack to clear another thug and a heroic feat to start clearing this threat. But of course, because we're ending our turn there, we do take 1 damage, so we'll get rid of the move on its own. But that is our turn done. We are back to Kang. Okay, so Time Master. If Kang is in a location, put him out of play, so he is gone. Okay, so he's now out of play. There's no BAM or anything else. That's it. That's as much as he does. So it is now back to our heroes. So we ended with Rocket, we are back to Groot. So now he does have a move and attack, and I think he's going to use his double wild. That will enable Groot to do a move, an attack to clear another thug, and then complete this threat. So we can get rid of that dozy, which is our second threat down. Now then, at the end of my turn, you may discard one action token. Unfortunately, I haven't got any action tokens at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. Okay. So that is it for Groot's actions. We are back to Rocket. Rocket will have an attack. So he's got a double wild, so we could do a move and attack maybe just to get a bit further afield. Perhaps I'm thinking do a double move. I'm thinking maybe coming down to the Collector's Museum, clearing a couple more villains, perhaps, is what I'm thinking. So down here, we're doing a 2 move using a move and a wild. Using a wild and an attack. So we can remove one more thug and remove one of these time hideouts. Can't take any damage as long as he is in this or adjacent location. So we absolutely prevent Kang from being able to be attacked. And the other, so that and the other time hideout over here at the Milano. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's have a look. We're going to do the move and attack from Rocket, put that in the storyline. So it means Rocket can do a move and then a wild as the other move, and he can do an attack, and then for the other wild he's going to start to clear this threat. Okay, so that's 2 actions. We are back to Groot. Oh, Groot. You and another hero get to attack in your respective locations and do an attack on top of that. And he has a move and an attack in the storyline. This isn't really anything. You and another hero may draw a card and then also do the wild. I think that's quite handy, so let's go with that. Gets us an extra card to choose from, so we're going to add that in. Now that means Groot will unfortunately waste one of his actions, which is the attack, but he'll get to move and place a heroic feat out here to start getting forward with the other time hideout. And then both of our heroes get to draw a card, so we'll draw an extra card for each of our heroes. Master Tinkerer, nice. Okay, so we're doing quite well, I think, at the moment, but can change, of course. So let's see what Kang is doing. Kang will Time Master. Okay, so if Kang is out of play, put him in play in the location with the most heroes, and then bam. Okay, so we've got 2 heroes, neither have got the most. Let's roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6 over to Rocket. Okay, and then bam. So he's going to do his bam effect. So if he's in a location, deal 2 damage to each hero in Kang's location, 1 damage to adjacent. So in terms of adjacency, we don't have any heroes, but of course we have Rocket Raccoon in Kang's location. We'll just get rid of the 2 single attacks. So he's taken 2 damage. Kang really doesn't like Rocket Raccoon. So that's it for his bit. Nothing more to be said for him. Okay. So Groot went last, so we are now back to Rocket Raccoon. It's a good job we got to draw an extra card. Wow, otherwise he'd have been KO'd. Okay, so I'm going to draw again. So Raccoon senses, draw a wild, or convert any number of action tokens of your you own into wild tokens. I haven't got any others. Or gain a wild token, or your action tokens can be used twice this turn. With an attack, Got a heroic feat, and we've got a heroic feat in there, so we are going to do the heroic feat. So we're going to do gain a wild token. Let's do that. And then he's got 2 heroic feats in the storyline, which gives him what he needs to clear this time hideout threat. So that's good. So we just need to be cautious of expediting these missions, of course. So we only need to clear 1 more threat. So we're back to Groot. So Groot draws an extra card. Okay, so we've got lots of attack. Oh, Groot, you and another hero may deal an attack in your respective locations, which doesn't do anything for Groot right now, but would mean that Rocket could get rid of another thug, which would certainly be helpful. But then he has this move to another location and move any hero to another location. That would certainly be helpful as well, actually. So this here, I'm Groot to move any other hero to a location adjacent to them. I think that is definitely going to be helpful for Raccoon. Missed his end of turn, hasn't he? Means we'd have to stay there. But it puts a move in the storyline. So move in a storyline rather than attack in the storyline. Do we would rather have an attack in the storyline? I mean, we've certainly got plenty over in Morag. We've got plenty of thugs that we can be getting rid of. And is it worth, because he ended here, is it worth discarding that wild token to draw a card? I think so. Not a tremendous amount of health, but it's 1 more health, if nothing else. Okay, so do I want to do that? So you see, I could do the double wild and that would clear the threat, but that means Kang starts acting faster. I don't really want, but at the moment it leaves 1 of those threats in play. Alternatively, I could do this I Am Groot as an attack. Probably hasn't even got a move. Okay, I'm going to leave that move. I'm going to go with the move. I'm going to go with the move in the storyline. I'm going to put a heroic feat out onto there. So we only need 1 more heroic feat to complete the time hideout at the Milano. And we get to do a move. Do I want to move Rocket? I am going to move Rocket over to Morag because there's lots of stuff we can attack. I get a move, but I've already used a heroic feat. I'll stay at the Milano. I'm going to stay where I am. So that's it for Groot. Does get a bit AP, doesn't it? Okay, so we are back to Rocket. Rocket draws a card. Double attack. Nice. Well, that's handy. Okay, so double attack and a move. Or do I want the wild token and a single attack? No, we'll stick to the double attack. We'll stick to the double attack, that's fine. He does have a move as well, but he won't need to incorporate that. So we're going to do double attack on in Morag. So that means we can get rid of 2 of these thugs. They get added to our defeat thugs mission. So we've just got 2 more thugs to defeat, and then 1 more heroic feat, but we can clear that final threat. And we are back to, yeah, we didn't do a move, and that's fine. We're back to Kang. typical fashion, of course, he really doesn't like raccoons. What can I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and bam! Now, unfortunately, it does KO Rocket. So Rocket has been knocked out. Okay, so that's not great. So here he is over here. So he's been knocked out over at Morag. Kang hunted him down. So that's his BAM. Do 2 damage, and then he's going to put out 3. Okay, this is definitely going to cause overflow. So we're going to get 2 thugs and a civilian in his location. Over here, we're going to get 1 thug, and it would be 2 civilians, but we're going to do 1 civilian. So in the event of overflow, we're going to put a crisis token there that will prevent the end of turn effect. And then over here, talking my way through it and you ain't even seeing, sorry. So I've put overflow over here. We've filled up this location, and then the collector's museum, we have 1 thug, 1 civilian, and again we've lost our end of turn action. We can't discard an action token to draw a card. That's okay. So that's all done. So that was it for his turn. We are back to our heroes. So Groot will start us off by drawing a card. It's a single wild, and we've got a double punch. Single wild, double punch. I ideally want to move, but I can't move. I can't do any of the abilities. I could draw another card. Oh, that's tough. That is tough. Okay, I think flipping heck. So these are the breaks, folks. I could put a wild down, and that's not a problem. The question then is, do I use the wild to move and double attack, which clears this mission, or do I stay where I am and use that wild to clear this threat? Clearing the threats, clearing this mission. Either way, I've done one or the other. I think I'm going to have to do the latter than the former. Rationale being, Rocket is about to draw all of his cards back up to 3, 4th card, and if he has 2 attacks, he can clear. Or in fact, he has 1 attack with that 1 wild, clear thugs. Because there's 2 missions, we can then start attacking Kang, obviously providing he's on the board. So I think that's going to be our best bet. So I'm going to use that wild to clear timeout. So that clears that threat, which clears that mission. Kang is now under pressure. Which means we have 1 more action before he goes again. But Groot can move to another location. Is it worth him moving to another location is the question. What could he take advantage of? We've lost that one. There isn't anywhere really for him to take advantage of now. Unless he decides to maybe stay here. Okay, we'll take a chance, we'll move there. Okay, so we're back to Rocket, who stands back up. And we have 1, 2, 3 cards. 4th card is an attack. Okay, so we could do a single wild. Yeah, That gives us 2 wilds in the storyline, which means he can do the 2 thugs that we need and clears this. So Kang is now vulnerable, but we haven't had a chance to attack him. So that is it for our turn. We are back to Kang. And of course, at this point, he phases out. Kang is in a location, put him out of play. That's it. That's what he does. Okay, it is now back to us. So we can now focus on continuing to clear threats, rescuing civilians in order to draw more cards. But we can't attack Kang. And we can be fairly confident, having seen the Time Master cards a number of times now, when he comes back in, he will go to where the most heroes are. So if we both stay together, that's where he'll go, and he'll bam, and it would cause both of us 2 points of damage. But that's fine. Okay, so with that in mind, it is Groot's turn. So we're going to play We Are Groot. We're going to have both of us draw an extra card. Both of the heroes will draw an extra card. Okay, so we've got some attacks, lots of attacks, so that's good. He does get a heroic feat and a wild, so let's see if we may as well get rid of one of these other locations. So remember the time paradox, and as long as this thread is in play, whenever Kang enters play, he does so on full health. Now, provided we can do, once he's on the board, 4 points of damage in one go, what he requires, then we're all good. If he phases out and fades back in again, he will recover all of his health. So that's what we hopefully want to avoid, but we will see how we go. Okay, so that was Groot's turn. We are back to Rocket Raccoon. We'll draw another card. We are fast working our way through cards now. All of our double tokens are gone. So we're going to do a move and a wild. Do a move and a wild, or put an attack out. So at least there's an attack. Yeah, we'll put an attack out. So at least there's an attack in the storyline for next turn. We'll get rid of another thug. That's gone. We could have done with getting rid of that. Oh no, he's got the heroic feat as well. So yeah, that's fine. That threat is cleared, although there's still one in play. So that still is in play. Okay, so we are back to Kang. Haha, okay, if Kang is out of play, put him in play in the location with the most heroes, and then bam, so he will appear. So this is it, folks. This is hopefully the big finale over at Morag. This is what we're facing against now. So bam, he will do 2 points of damage to our heroes. So let's have a look. Let's get rid of those two because they're the least useful, a move and a heroic feat. And we're going to get rid of move and one of the Iron Groot attack cards. Okay. So that's 2 points of damage. We are done there. There's nothing else on there. That's his bam completed. And it is back to us. We are back to Groot. So Groot will play Iron Groot. He'll draw a card first of all, and then he'll play Iron Groot. So you and another hero deal 1 damage to your respective locations, which of course is over here at Morag. So we have Kang here. So that's 2 points of damage, 1 for each hero off of Kang. And then with the 2 final attack actions that he has left, that's 1, that's 2, that is Kang KO'd. That is it, folks. Wow. Okay. So there you go. Very, very different again. We've seen, I can't remember who it was before, but there was somebody else. There was another character I'd seen where they phased in and out. Yeah, those threats in particular, particularly challenging here, with the ability to, if you're ending a turn, I think it was, in an area with a thug, with him putting out thugs, then of course that's causing that extra damage. So yeah, that's very challenging with that, but we managed to take care of those threats. So it's it's around that prioritization of take care of those threats first, take care of the threats that meant we wouldn't be able to damage Kang. There's never a point. What I generally like about Marvel United is there's very, very rarely ever a scenario point situation where you have cards and absolutely nothing you can do with them. There's always stuff you can be doing in terms of clearing threats, in terms of clearing, rescuing civilians, defeating thugs, etc. So even when Kang is phased out, there's still stuff to be done. There's still usability in their actions, and you're planning ahead as well. So thinking about, okay, there was a point where, okay, if I did the attack now, although I'm only really defeating a thug and it doesn't really make a massive difference to the game, what it does, it puts an attack in the storyline for the next turn on the basis of the hope that Kang would phase back in and be able to utilize that then. So which we did to great effect. So yeah, I like that about the puzzle. It works so well, and it's just another great example of another change up in the system. So yeah, so facing Kang. Rocket and Ratoon did a great job. Unfortunately, Rocket did end up being KO'd during that session, but we still have a Groot left with us as we continue to play through the Ultimate campaign. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, please hit that like button. If you want to encourage me to see more, hit that subscribe. Otherwise, I will hopefully see you back at the table soon. Let's go see what else we've just unlocked.